Hey everybody, this is Fi. We're checking out Thisorientation. This is a game I've not played before. I don't know much of anything about it, but we're going to give it a playtest and see if we can give some useful feedback. I've got the game page open here. It simply says a game about going up some stairs. Apart from that, the developer mentioned this was MC Escher inspired, but I don't know anything beyond that much that I've told you just now, so I think we're going to try and jump right into this. Sorry, there's some little black borders in the top and bottom. That's because this is in it's in a window. It's maximized currently, so there's a little bit of extra vertical space that's not being filled up. It's not quite full screen here. I tried Alt Enter before I started the video. Didn't get anything out of that. So I don't see any settings from what I can tell here. So I don't know if, I guess, let's try, if I click on leave, I think that's going to close the game, so let's try treasure just to see what happens. It looks like it says collection of treasures. No treasure here yet. That's really hard to read this text here. It's very small. Let's go ahead and click back. Click on begin. Protagonist, hey buddy, I need to use your toilet. Where is it? Does it want me to click? Oh, it's just up the stairs over there. The stairs. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I listened to this background music a little bit before. Looks like it just kind of stays persistent here. Oh my gosh. Nice music. I like the little. It sounds like clock ticking, sort of like a percussion element in there. It's really nice. In any case, so yeah, we don't have any settings, and this is kind of as I expected. The mouse sensitivity is massively too high for me right now. So that's, of course, very important. In a first-person game, you need to have that mouse sensitivity setting. In addition to some other things that I really prefer to see, like the ability to turn VSync on and off, and an exclusive full screen mode. Those are the things I always ask for, particularly in first-person games. It allows you to get rid of or reduce the input latency pretty significantly, which just feels better for controlling in first person. But I am assuming there's no like aiming and shooting in this game, so it shouldn't matter that much. But nevertheless, it's always nice to see those settings get in the game as soon as possible. So we have some kind of like a, I don't know, like a reverse depth of field effect here, where it's kind of blurred in the distance. It's quite weird looking. But yeah, so I mashed the DPI button on my mouse down a few notches, so it's much more reasonable right now. Of course, not everyone has selectable DPI on the mouse, but that should do for now. So I can, oh, right, we got to jump on the space bar. It's really quick. Feels like the gravity is like super high. Doesn't feel very natural. I might want to tweak that a little bit. Usually you can just stick with like realistic physical units for that kind of thing. Like, I don't think you necessarily have to fiddle with that too much to make it just feel natural, as long as you kind of assume that the player character is like, you know, 6 foot tall or whatever, and then everything should kind of work out. Whoa, what just happened? Wait, where did that come from? So that was weird. I feel like the screen froze for a moment. Did I like teleport somewhere? Hold on. This is where I started, right? Alright, so one of the things that's happening here is that there's a lot of uniformity in the environment. Like, everything kind of looks the same, and the parts that actually are different are actually sort of lost a bit in the noise of the geometry here. So I mean, I'm guessing that this is meant to be somewhat of a mind-bendy game, but in terms of just like navigating and having a sense of where you are, I think it's helpful to have things laid out in a way where you can kind of say, okay, that direction is where I came from, and this other direction is someplace I haven't gone to, that kind of thing. You really want to be careful about that kind of thing, so it could be really disorienting. Like, for a moment I didn't know if I was still in the same place or if I teleported or whatever. I can kind of figure it out eventually, but Actually, the blur in the distance doesn't really help with that either. But yeah, so everything's kind of the same color. Everything's mostly made of the same geometry. It's kind of noisy, so it kind of doesn't necessarily, at the moment, work well to keep the player well oriented. And usually for that kind of thing, I recommend that people work in some landmarks into the environment, just like unique little details, so if someone sees that and they can say, oh, I've been there before, or that's something new, I haven't seen that yet, that kind of thing. If you could figure out a way to do that with kind of the style you've got here, I think that would be nice. Okay, the E button. Let's do this finally. So it looks like that was a treasure chest. All right, my mouse is like super slow moving. Sign. Press E to open chests. Also says press shift to sprint. Alrighty then. So apparently I opened a chest and it had inside of it a sign that had information. Whoa, okay. Information about how to play the game, I guess. I didn't try the shift button yet, but that makes sense. So apparently, I don't know if this is intentional or not. Wait a minute. Interesting. Sort of looks like you could almost, if the jump wasn't so kind of wacky and extreme the way it is, it looks like you could almost run and jump over here. Or it kind of gives you that feeling. But I guess the game wants me to walk up this wall because I don't see another way forward. Now this is very trippy, it's very cool, but also like if that is the intended way forward, there's nothing intuitive about this, right? It like this isn't something that happens in real life, so I can't imagine anyone just, or I should say I can imagine people just never actually trying that, just like walk into this wall and see what happens. Like that's not usually, whoa, it's not usually an option. The camera, so if you're facing sideways, this kind of rotates nicely. It kind of rotates your view and you're kind of fine. But if you're facing it dead on, it doesn't really adjust your view, so you're still just kind of like looking at the floor, so I have to like manually do this. That makes it like particularly disorienting. So yeah, so I think I'm still not sure. Actually, it looks like I can go up. That's weird. Looks like I can go up like this and then up right here to go back through here. Okay. Very unusual little puzzle here, but in order for somebody to figure this out, not only do they have to like walk all the way into this wall for who knows what reason, like I just did it accidentally because I was like talking and fiddling around or whatever, so I can imagine a lot of people wouldn't try this, but not only do they have to walk into this, but they have to like be facing a particular way so that they can see what's happening, because if you're facing towards the wall, you're not going to see. You're just gonna get confused, especially, oh my gosh, it's really kind of trippy, but yeah, so that's weird. The other thing is, like, even once I figured out that I could do this, it wasn't really obvious to me what to do after that point. Like, I can see after standing, oh, I keep resetting my mouse DPI, sorry about that. There we go, okay. After standing here and rambling for a little while, I noticed this little thing right here, and it kind of clicked to me that I could use that. But this seems extremely subtle, like, it just seems like it'd be really hard to notice that for like a lot of people. And so I would imagine, I mean, this feels like the first time that your brain has kind of been tested at all in the game here. And I'm sorry for taking so much time here, but I feel like there could be like a lot of people who would just get kind of gated out of the game by not being able to figure this out right off the bat. Just maybe not what you want, especially if you're trying to teach the mechanics. So that's something that's not really present here. So maybe your idea was to, you're forcing the player to encounter it because it's the only way forward, but where it's never been, you're not really forcing the player to do it because there's not really a reason to actually do this other than the fact that there's literally nothing else to do, but it doesn't really teach the player, I don't think. So another thing that stands out to me is the fact that you put this prominent chest here, and you open up the chest and it gives you some information in writing about how to play the game, which is cool. Like that's a good way to teach players. And then immediately after the player encounters this as their first kind of nugget of information about how to play, they're faced with this, which isn't explained at all. And it's like immediately after, so it's really kind of weird that you would put like really explicit text and then like immediately just throw this at the player without any kind of wording or anything. It's just sort of strangely paced, and I don't see why you wouldn't just try to make this more explicit too. Because it's just like how to play the game. It's not supposed to be hard to learn the rules of the game. Wow, this is a little hard to make sense of what I'm looking at here I mean, this isn't a problem, it's just like it's a little hard to see the differences. Everything just kind of looks like a solid color to me. It might look slightly different on your monitor than it does on mine. Mine is not exactly a good monitor. So what do we have here? I noticed this little thing right here. Again, this is pretty subtle. It's almost like hidden in the environment. I'm not sure if anything else here actually means anything. Oh, the gravity is insane. Alright, yeah, so that feels pretty weird, but... So presumably, go here. I don't know what this is. There's a little oh, alright, so I kind of intuitively try to slap the control key to crouch. I don't think there's crouching. I'm trying different buttons. I don't think we can crouch in this game, which I think is unfortunate because, in my opinion, like every first-person game like this should have a crouch button because it just feels right to be able to interact with the environment in that way that you can kind of crouch. Like sometimes you want to look at something on the floor or whatever and you just want to look a little closer. It just doesn't feel right to me to not be able to crouch. But in this case, maybe I could like duck under this. It's like just the perfect height that I should be able to crouch under it, right? But yeah, that's just kind of a feel thing in my opinion. So we've got whatever this is. Oh, what the heck? So what the heck is this little hole here? What is that? So this presumably will orient me this way, which brings me back to where I started. I reset my DPI again. Okay. So that's a weird little detail. I'm not sure, like, I don't know, this kind of feels like something unintentional or something. Like you just accidentally left some weird geometry there with that stuff going on. I'm not really sure what the idea was behind that particular part, but I'm guessing that's weird. I'm guessing he wants me to go up here. Wait. Or up here. Wait, is that it? That's not actually a thing, right? I'm pressing the E button. Like I've seen the shape before, but nope. Is that one of the chests? Do I have to be, I'm not oriented right to open it? Is that what's going on? Oh, this is weird. Oh my gosh, the jumping, I think I'm actually hitting the ceiling here. But yeah, it doesn't feel very good because it falls so quickly. So we got a little thing here. And then I think that's a chest right there, but I can't. I'm guessing I can't jump from the floor onto that staircase. This is quite weird. I can't see much from this position, so I'm not really sure. Trying to make sense of what I'm looking at here. Wait. I think that's the same thing. Is that a chest too? I think I saw these at the start that were oriented differently. I'm gonna run and jump here. Okay. Now, is that... Oh, indeed, okay. Treasure acquired. Spiffing hat, for those who decide they want to look terribly spiffing. That was weird. Okay, so I got a treasure. So apparently those are chests. I didn't even realize that these objects were chests before. They just sort of blend into the environment a lot. Can I actually jump up here? No, okay, so I'm not sure if that was the intended route to get to this or whatever. It doesn't feel like the game necessarily expects me to. It's more, I'm getting the sense that this is more of a just like get as many of these things as you can, as opposed to like complete the game in the correct way sort of deal. But yeah, apparently there was a couple more of those at the start that I didn't even realize were also chests. I think... I don't know, I understand the aesthetic here. Kind of the uniformity of it, but I feel like it's a bit hard to distinguish some important things the way... Oh, it's like I'm gradually sliding down the steps here. I'm not pressing any input. That's interesting. But yeah, it would seem natural that you'd want to make the chests actually kind of stand out as like an object that's important in the environment to some degree. Whereas right now they quite blend into everything. So it was a bit hard for me to even like wrap my head around the fact that those are actually chests and that those are things that I wanted. Until this point where I seem to figure that out. Do I want to go here? I'm pretty sure I... Wow, okay. This is definitely a new area. Interesting. Okay, we've got a slight change in colors. Wow, what is this? Alright, so we do have stuff in the environment that isn't literally looking the same as everything else. So, if I press E, I don't know, it seems to get excited with me near it. Alright, I'm touching it. I don't know what this is. It doesn't seem to I mean, obviously it speeds up a little when I get close to it, but there doesn't appear to be anything like being triggered or anything happening from interacting with it, from what I can tell. So, oh, reset the DPI. Okay. I just do that habitually. I slap that button to reset the DPI sometimes because there were times in the past where I accidentally hit one of the other buttons while I was playing a game and it would like throw off my aim or something. So I developed a habit of resetting it every so often, just in case. So, okay, this isn't infinite. But I don't know, did I want to go here yet, or... I didn't really get a sense of what else was in the environment here before I started taking these stairs. So apparently there's a platform here. Oh, hello. A warning of stairs. Okay. Alright. I'm assuming there's no functionality from the chests. As far as gameplay goes. So yeah, there's something here. Oh, wait a minute. I'm diagonal. All right, this is kind of weird. We got like a little thing here where it doesn't transition. That's interesting. I can actually jump up here, which is quite awkward. Oh. Looks like the game doesn't trigger this transition here just from me being here because I'm not properly walking on this ground. It's probably a good thing, but yeah, I'm not sure what the idea is with this. I don't know if this was intended to be a transition or what's going on here. So like, I can go over here. Alright, I don't see any way to transition to a different orientation here. Interesting. So I guess we go up the stairs. Very bizarre environments here. Alright, we're gonna try and speedrun this a bit. Just kind of trippy. Alright. So we've got transitions here. With more transitions. Quite weird. And then over here, there's no such thing. So we'll start by going here. Which does nothing. I don't know. Oh, from here I can go up there. This is so trippy. Oh my gosh. So weird how, I mean, these little ramps, sometimes they don't really stand out in a way that it's like obvious that this is actually like somehow critical to progressing, you know. It just sort of, it's just like such a fine little detail in the environment. It doesn't really register in your brain as like a way forward, you know. It's quite interesting. So yeah, I would say, oh, it looks like there's a little doorway here. I would say keep an eye on people getting stuck in the game, not knowing how to progress. I think I just ended up... Wait, I don't remember seeing that before. This is somewhere else? Yeah, this is a different staircase, isn't it? Ah. But yeah, if there's like a lot of people getting stuck on like random things like that, you might want to reconsider some of the level design elements. I mean, there's definitely ways that you can make things more prominent, like, okay, this is the way forward, and just make it kind of bigger and sort of focus the visual flow of the environment around that object. So it's like, okay, that's where I need to go. You can always do stuff like that, whereas the way it is right now, it seems like some of these little ramps and stuff are just kind of tucked into the environment in such a subtle way. We got, I guess, another one of these? Or is this... Am I on this seal? Wait. Oh. Okay, so I think I flipped upside down and this is the same staircase as before. But the underside of it or whatever. That's what I'm guessing. It wasn't immediately obvious that there was any relationship between this staircase and the other one. But it occurred to me to like try to check the underside, and once I like actually did that, specifically looked for it, I could tell like, oh yep, there's kind of an upside down staircase. Alright, so I don't know what this is. I might guess it's like some kind of a waypoint or something, but actually in this case it does sort of work as a landmark, I guess. The only problem is like I don't know that there aren't more of these in the environment, you know? Like this could have been just a completely different instance of the same object, you know? There's no way for me to like know that that's the same one I saw before unless I actually like really figure this out now. Get some more ramps here. I guess if I see a ramp, I just I see a ramp I can walk onto, then maybe I just take it and then hope that that brings me forward in some fashion. I think I just kind of... I'm where I started here. Oh, looks like I can go through there. Right? Hello, we got another little hole. Did I... Is this where I think it is? Is this back where... Like way back? Wait, what? So I guess I just fall. And then... Oh, the color kind of changes, I see. It's sort of a... I don't know, procedural type of deal. So yeah, I think this is where I was before, but I'm oriented differently, I think. Looks like there's a way you can go in there. I don't know how to get there. We've got stairs here. It's like I can, oh, it's like I'm sliding off of this. Oh, it's annoying that I can't just walk under this, so, yeah. Like, there's ways around this. But that's kind of annoying, like, to have to, you know, take this kind of long route around all this just to go right there. It'd just be a lot simpler if I could just press the control key to go under that. Oh, so that kind of worked. That was really awkward to jump. I don't know if, is that intended? I'm assuming it's intended to jump here because you definitely slide off of this. But there's like no run up. And when you do jump, it's sort of like you don't quite make it, but you kind of, it seems like you can kind of fudge it a bit. I don't know. Yeah, it's like just barely. So yeah, that feels pretty unnatural. Like I feel like it's intended, but it's not. When you do it, it doesn't feel like something that's intended because again, you don't really have like a run up to do it. The distance is just far enough that even while running, it doesn't quite feel right, you know. So if that is the intended way forward, I would try to build this out in a way that kind of works a little bit nicer, you know, a little bit more of a run up, maybe just shorten the distance a little bit so it kind of feels right. Like, okay, you just run and jump and that's normal. I don't think this feels like it's slightly longer, is it? Maybe it's the same distance. Try. Yeah, so that seems like you might be able to fudge it a bit, but again, it just kind of feels not quite right. Oh. Definitely looks like the way forward. Like I don't have any other ways to interact with the world besides moving and jumping that I've been presented with, and the E key, but that only works on chests as far as I know, which by the way, I haven't found one of those in a while. Alright, trying to do the old trick of like watching your feet. Yep, that did the trick. Alright, so that's one of those things, you know, jumping in first person is pretty awkward, but if you shorten this distance, you know, that'll simplify this so that players don't have to do this weird thing where they have to like super maximize the length of their jump, because it just doesn't feel like it doesn't feel like it's made to be jumped across like this the way it is right now, even though that, as far as I can tell, that's like the only way to actually get past this part, I guess. I hope this is something. Alright, looks like I can actually do this. Yeah, so made it in here. The transition. Whoa, we got some noise. Alright, oh gosh, this is gonna destroy the video encoding. So I'm gonna try and keep that off the screen for a bit while I talk. So you might not be aware of this, but if you have noise being rendered on the screen and you're like recording the screen, it completely destroys the encoder. So it basically just makes it eat up massive amounts of memory as it's writing it to disk because it can't compress that efficiently. So Or, you know, the other thing is it might make it like super low quality, but in my case it kind of, the way I have the encoding set up, it's set up to kind of maintain a certain quality level. So more complexity on the screen, it takes more space. Noise is the worst case scenario, but if somebody was like streaming the game, for example, it's usually set up to target like a set amount of bandwidth. In which case, if you know, if there's noise in the screen like that, then whoever's watching the stream will get like a super low quality image. So it's one or the other, but in my case, I'm just hoping it's not going to like fill up my hard drive, you know, looking at this. Hopefully there's not too much of this in the game. What the heck is that? Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's hard on the encoder there. But I should have a good amount of space free on the drive currently, so it should be okay. But if for some reason I was kind of like sort of close to filling up the drive, and then I might be kind of worried about this, because it's like if you max out the drive, then it screws up the video. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going like anywhere I feel like I can. I don't have a sense of direction. I didn't see like an objective to kind of move towards or anything. So at this point, I don't know. There's different things I feel like I could jump on. Oh, there's a ramp thing here. I guess that's what I should go towards. That's kind of in the way. Maybe I should try and drop on this. All right, that seems like the right choice. Yeah, the gravity, you have to kind of... all right, that's not fun. You have to kind of be careful. Because the gravity doesn't feel very natural. It's kind of punishing, I guess. So, is this? I'm just kind of going wherever. I didn't really pay much attention to the way I did this the first time, but it looks like I made it here. So that didn't take too long to get back up, so that's always good. It's lousy if you have like a jumping puzzle and then you fall and then you have to just like walk up for like 5 minutes or something to get back to where you were. That's always kind of lame, but this was pretty quick. We got another one of you, which you aren't actually. Oh. Ah. So, whoa. What? Oh. So you touch that, it actually resets your position to here. Oh, okay. Okay. So this is the first time I've seen this kind of interact with you. So the first time I encountered this, I don't remember it being anything but the way it looks right now, but this time it was like empty, and then when I guess like when I touched it or whatever, it got filled with the static. So that gives me the idea that this is like a checkpoint, which is kind of what I thought it might be in the first place, but there was not really any other indication other than that. And also there wasn't actually any need for it that I could tell. There wasn't anything to like force me to reset back to a checkpoint until now, which is apparently this wall of encoder destroying noise. So it's kind of weird, but yeah, I think you want to be careful about communicating the fact that you're actually interacting with this to the player. So you can use sounds, you can use, you know, particles or whatever to like have some kind of effect that happens when this is triggered, so the player gets like a really solid idea that, oh, I just triggered something, you know, because I never got that before with the one I saw previously. And even this time, like I managed to notice that it changed, but it was like something that could have easily been missed, you know. So I think you want to really be very careful about making that obvious to the player that, oh, you just triggered this in some way, and then they'll eventually figure out what it actually is. I think, you know, it's not like you have to write on the screen, this is a checkpoint necessarily, which actually that wouldn't be a bad idea. I think a lot of devs are a little bit scared of being explicit with players because they feel like everything has to be like told without words, but I don't really agree with that. So I mean, even if you had, you know, just a little pop-up text real quick on the screen that said like checkpoint or checkpoint activated or something, and then just disappear after a second, then even that could be a nice thing. What the heck is, I guess we're not supposed to. Okay, so we touch this stuff, we go back to the checkpoint. That's pretty cool. I also like how trippy it looks. I guess it doesn't quite seamlessly blend with the background in all cases. Well, I guess that's the depth of field or whatever. But again, there's not really a clear effect for when this happens, so it just kind of fills the screen with the static, and it's really disorienting. And there's like some other geometry which I think is from the checkpoint or something. Like I think it just teleports you inside of this thing, and then yeah, it's really trippy. So I think you need a more obvious visual effect that something happened here. Because if you go into static and then your screen just turns into static, it doesn't really communicate to you what's happening, because you might think that your head is just like inside of this or whatever, instead of having been teleported back. There's not really a clear transition that you're triggering something like that. So I think you could do something a little different here. It looks like I can just kind of walk under this. I guess for the most part, one thing I will say, it seemed like I've just kind of been playing the game in the sense of like whatever it looks like I can go towards is where I've been going, and it's kind of been working. So I think that's kind of good, because with as potentially disorienting as this whole game is, I mean, it just looks ridiculous. I think if you had like a bunch of different possible ways that you could go at any point in time, you would just kind of never figure it out, because you would just have no idea of like which way to choose. But it seems like you've managed to make it so that for the most part you kind of only have one option at any point in time, which kind of allows the player to just be like, okay, I'm just going to go there, and then it just kind of works out. So it allows the player to keep progressing, which makes it a lot less frustrating than it would be, I think, otherwise. So that's pretty cool. I guess I just go over here and all right, I'm kind of wedged here. I'm sliding off this a little bit. It looks like the jump button's still working. All right, that's a little awkward. So this is really a small thing to land on. Not to mention you can kind of slide down it a little bit, but yeah. So I think that's actually important also because of the fact that what actually has been the way forward, I think, is not really been obvious. I mean, kind of like what I've already said, where some of these details, they just seem like such little parts of the environment. It doesn't really visually come across as like that's an important way to go. It's just like these little weird bits of geometry that you end up interacting with. So yeah, I guess it's pretty important that there's not multiple options and stuff. But again, like some of these jumps, they don't quite feel like they were really built very well for like platforming, you know? It just kind of feels awkward in my opinion. But I mean, this works. Is this the idea? And then I guess I can go here. Oh, looks like I can go over here. Oh crap. Alright, so I fell. So that's lousy. How did I even start down this path? I think it was... So this thing is standing out to me right now. Oh crap, I actually fell. Alright, I think that was bad? I don't know where I... Maybe this is somewhere I haven't been before. I think this actually is somewhere I haven't been before, in the sense that orientation is not what I've experienced before, but this wasn't where I was before when I fell down, so... Huh. What the heck? I quite confused myself at this point. So... One thing... Oh, I'm here again. Oh. Okay. Well, one thing that occurred to me is I think I can just run into the static and then go back to the checkpoint, right? This, I think, is a little further forward. Oh, wait. Shouldn't that just drop? I have to go really slow. Okay. It's kind of awkward. Interesting. Okay. I think this is a little further forward. Yeah, I got a little disoriented there. I'm kind of glad that I was able to just restart, but I think I kind of figured out I was kind of back to a place that I was earlier. Yeah, I mean, these stairs, the way you kind of slide down the stairs a little bit, maybe not the best choice for platforming. I didn't hold the shift button there for some strange reason. Alright. Yeah, that doesn't feel very good. No, I'm trying to like get on this end so I have a little room to run here to make this jump. Awkward jump. Okay, so I think I go here. Oh shoot, I didn't make it up. Oh, alright, yeah, so that's annoying. It's a bit unfortunate because you're trying to do pretty simple things, which is just making some little jumps here and there. And it's not taking too long to get back to where I was, but it is a little bit unfortunate when where it's just like down to like the way the controls work, you know. I guess I can kind of, this is slightly quicker. But yeah, I mean, jumping in first person is usually, or platforming in first person is usually one of those things where it's just not ideal usually, but it can work. But I think, yeah, I think if you tweak the jumping a little bit to have a little bit more airtime, make it feel a bit more natural, that would help. And then you can make, I'm sure you could make some of the actual jumps and such feel a little better. Now, did I fall? Where did I don't even remember where I was when I fell the last time, but I'm just going this way. All right, we got a transition. Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh my gosh, my head. Wow. Okay, so I tried to. I didn't realize there was a ceiling here. I don't know why you put a ceiling right here when you have a jump. But I guess I made it over anyways. Can I just run over this? I can just run over this. It's kind of like Mario Brothers. You can just run over the the one block thing. Can I fall in here at all? Okay, if I really try to. Alright, it brought me all the way back here, so that was kind of... I mean, it's playtesting, so you kind of have to try stuff sometimes. But yeah, that's kind of interesting. I don't really... I don't know what the thought process was there. Like if you were trying to have the player figure out that they didn't need to jump over a gap like that. I don't know if that was intended or not, but it was kind of weird to have that ceiling over your head when you think you have to jump and then you just hit your head, and it just felt very weird. Alright, transition. This does look cool though. I like this feeling of like it's a sea of lava or whatever, so I guess I can just walk over these. It's really silly. It was so weird when I just bumped my head the first time because I didn't know that ceiling was there. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, whoa. Okay. Strange. Wow. Okay, a little bit too quick there. I guess you got a little bit of inertia on the movement. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit slidey, like when you let off the button, you kind of slide for a bit. So if you're trying to do like really quick turns while you're sprinting and stuff, you can kind of slide off the edges of stuff a bit. Might be worth tweaking, and hasn't been a problem that I've noticed up till now, but especially because you're starting to work in all this like platforming and stuff, you might want to try to, I don't know, you could consider tightening up the controls here and there. That's a very subtle thing. This is really not that bad, but I think I would probably try and tighten up that inertia a little bit if I was making this. Okay, I keep missing these funny little jumps here. That's the thing, it's like you have to like press forward enough to get up on the thing, but then like if you hold forward for a moment too long, you'll overshoot it, so it's really quite finicky. And we're still working with that inertia. Alright, back here. Oh, shoot. I did not think I did anything wrong, but I fell. Alright, I'm getting lots of practice with these little jumps, I guess. This does feel like it would be fun to speedrun the game. I mean, it would probably be, the way it is right now, it would probably also be really frustrating because it's like, oh my gosh, it's really easy to make like really tiny errors that would waste a ton of time. So it would probably be actually kind of a horrific speedrunning experience. But I feel like just moving through the environment feels cool enough that, like if you do it kind of quickly, I think that feels cool. So it has that sort of potential. I guess there wasn't actually anything to find up here, even though I guess I can go across here instead of down there. There's some kind of benefit to that? I don't quite know. What do you want from me, game? What in the heck? I think I could get across that if I jump over. I feel like I've got multiple paths all of a sudden, and it's like, oh, it's like a little stair. Can I go? Oh. So there's kind of a lower path there that had a ramp transition at some point. But then there's like over here. Oh, there's another ceiling I would have had to avoid. Yeah, it's really easy to just not see the ceiling there. Like I can't really jump here, but I couldn't really tell that until I just happened to look up there. But I guess I can jump over here, which I think I can get up on this. I don't know where I'm going here. I can go over there. There's a stairway. That's where I was before. Yeah, I don't really know what. Oh, there's a thing right here. Now I think maybe this is. What is this? I don't really know. Disorienting, but let's go here. And from here, I guess I can try and jump to here. Instead of just jumping down to the floor again. Oh, there's another one of these, so that's good to see. Okay, so I'm like on the ceiling from where I was there before. So yeah, I don't know, should I just jump down there? Or should I keep trying to get across, do funny things like this? Looks like that's the way forward. But I have to go down there to trigger the checkpoint. So that's kind of unfortunate because I feel like, oh, I think there's a chest there. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. It's kind of weird. I wonder if maybe it could just be that I just didn't find any, but seems like in terms of pacing, like it's kind of been a while since I've gotten one of those. But yeah, it feels kind of unfortunate that I feel like I sort of found my way there, but then I have to sort of almost go backwards in order to get a checkpoint, which is really important. Because obviously I don't want to go like all the way back to the other one if I end up needing a checkpoint, which I just like randomly walked into some stuff right there that would have really screwed me. Because I wasn't looking at what was around the corner here. Alright, so what's up here? You get a transition, but I don't think. What does that sound? Alright, I don't know if you can hear that. Someone's device in this place is getting a zillion notifications for some reason. It's very weird. It's not mine. Okay, this is not what I was expecting. Okay, so I thought I was gonna go through there, but now I'm like going through here and it's like bringing me a whole different place or something. I don't know what is going on. That person's device. I want to go up there. So yeah, I'm at a point where I do have like more than one option here. Oh, there's another one of these. Or that was the old one. That must be the old one. So it... Interesting. Okay, so you don't... It has the static to show you which one is active, but you don't necessarily know if... Like, I could wrongly assume that this was one that I had not gotten to before instead of it being one from previously. I don't know. I want to go where I was before. I don't know if it's even possible. Well, it looks like we've got... Oh, I just completely botched that jump. Oh, just ran into stuff. Okay. I want to see if I can get up. Go up here. Oh, I touched the wall. Alright, that was kind of annoying. I'm not sure if this will bring me where I want to go. Oh, that jump is annoying. Alright, go up the stairs. Alright, here's a wall to kind of buffer me from the static, but then... oh, somehow I ended up touching it. I didn't think I was going to touch it. I don't know, maybe it's a little bit tight there in terms of the where the colliders are. Because it's a bit lousy if I feel like I didn't actually like touch this, but then the game is like, oh, you touched it, you know. It's like it's really kind of close here. Maybe you could just move it back a few units. Is this like, can I jump from here to there? I don't think that's very reasonable. Maybe I jump across this. I don't think, because I fall so fast, I don't think I can. Oh wow, I can actually make that jump. Just barely. Again, that kind of, like, it kind of fudged it. So I don't know if that was intentional, but didn't feel like it. Once again, I can't quite jump up here. Oh, I can't. Okay, so this is kind of awkward because you have to stand on the top part of this and like hold shift, and then you can kind of make this. It's a little silly. Alright, so I made it where I was before. Try not to fall. Is there... Alright, we got another hole to fall through, I guess. There is a chest right there. I don't know what's down there because it seemed like just a whole different part of the world, but now I guess... I don't know what this is going to do. This is a whole different part of the world too. And there's a ramp right behind me, which is quite curious. That's sort of a tricky thing. So yeah, this is interesting. Like, I'm not sure if this is supposed to be laid out in such a way that... Why is this here? Feels like there should be like a chest here or something. It's like a nice little secret for noticing the little ramp. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is actually supposed to like branch out in ways where there's different ways to go and stuff, and you can just kind of wander aimlessly. It does start to get quite confusing, but it's interesting. This looks really cool, actually. You can fall all the way down there. But I kind of, like, I have this sense of, like, okay, falling down is maybe not as good as, you know, jumping around on objects and stuff. Let me check how long I've been playing this, because I'm getting sucked pretty deep into this. Alright, not quite an hour. Looks like the game kind of steals... Oh, no, it doesn't steal my mouse. Yeah, I think it was just the fact that the mouse sensitivity, or the DPI setting was ultra low, so I couldn't see my mouse moving. But yeah, I can kind of, I think I can fall a little bit on, like here, for instance. I don't know if this does anything, but I can kind of jump around. Like, is there some kind of benefit to doing this versus just going all the way down? Oh, it looks like we've got some little ramps here. This is getting a bit dark. It's a little hard to see the details here. Might be a little too dark. Oh, I think that's a chest. Alright, again, this stuff just blends in so much. I can't help but think. Oh gosh. Alright, I forgot about the whole toilet thing. Yeah, it might be nice if those stood out a little bit more. We got more ramps here. Very interesting. I like how different things start to look because you get... It's almost like architecture or something. You get these just kind of cool views of stuff, and it's quite nice to... even just with, you know, really simple geometry and repeating chunks of, you know, squares and staircases. You get quite interesting variety of visuals here. I'm just kind of running around, not doing anything. I know that there's ramps here, but I'm like, I don't know, what should I be looking for? Is there anything else in here? I guess I just choose one of these ramps. Go back to here, and this is, oh, okay, this is kind of where I was before, right? But this is one wall. I wonder if are there any other ramps to a different wall, if I can call it that. Maybe not. There's a staircase here. Interesting. So I think jumping across these was the only way to get to where the poo was, which is really cool. Like, it's really neat to kind of have this element of, okay, I'm doing something kind of sneaky, and then I actually like find some kind of a reward for doing it that I could only get by doing this sort of thing. But it is pretty tricky to kind of navigate and wrap your head around the world and like places you've gone and where you can go from here. It's hard to get a sense of all that. We've got some more interesting things to look at here, I suppose. We got a weird little ramp right here. I don't know what's on that side. It's like I can just not quite jump up over that. Alright, a bit hard to see. I mean, between this foggy, blurry effect and the darkness, can't really see in any direction very far, so you kind of feel like you have to run around and like look at anything. It's sort of like if I didn't have my glasses on, it's kind of how the world would look, you know. Maybe makes things a little claustrophobic. I guess I'm just looking for a way in this hole. I don't know, like, where else do I even go from here? Alright. There's a ramp. Oh, that's trippy. Wait. I can't jump there, can I? That's not how it works, but now I'm... Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. Oh, that's... Okay, that's super weird. Like, I get it, but... That's trippy. Wait, most of these don't have that. I can't really go back to investigate again, but I guess... I just happened upon one of these that happened to have the little transition ramp on it. And I kind of figure out, like, I see what you're doing where you can kind of get over this thing now. Which is trippy and cool, but I'm afraid that, like, somebody might just not find that particular one that has that little transition thing and notice the difference. And just, like, happen upon the solution, because this was kind of almost accidental, you know? So I was just running in circles and talking. So yeah, I'd be a little worried about people. You know, it helps if you're kind of a patient person. I guess not all gamers are patient with stuff to just like run around until they see something. And you know, you don't have to make a game for everyone, but I think some people might just get stuck, like even if they are at it for a while and just not notice things like that. And I definitely keep a careful eye and ear out to see if wait a minute, what the heck? See if anyone does that. Did I hit this? I think I might have hit this and then transitioned back onto this flat, because this is obviously sloped And so I was oriented to this surface, and then I landed here, and then like now I'm oriented this way. It just didn't. It feels like it didn't follow the rules of the game. But I think maybe I hit this. I guess, yeah, I guess that's just kind of placed in such a way that you kind of hopefully naturally land on that. I can actually go back here, can't I? Oh, wait a minute. Wait. This has 2 transitions. Oh, now it goes on to here, and then I can climb back up here. Oh, now I'm back. Oh, that's cool. I mean, it's like going backwards. Okay, so it's right here. I guess there were like, there's some stair thing here. It's sort of different. Okay, here's another one. Interesting. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's just, maybe this is just enough to kind of funnel people into like accidentally finding out this, and then once you're kind of in this transition, you sort of just kind of fall naturally here. It's kind of cool the way it works. But yeah, yeah, and you kind of naturally fall into this, I guess. Oh, right now I'm kind of, I don't know. Oh, this isn't, that doesn't bring me onto that. So I don't know if that's what you want the player to land on necessarily. I feel like you want them to go here. So it might be a little awkward if they like land on this and then they're kind of like, oh, and then they're like, this is where I'm supposed to be, and then they kind of, I don't know. It's hard to say. There's definitely some interesting elements where it looks like some thought was put into this to kind of funnel players into a path forward. But it's like, it's, you know, it's triggering all this stuff in my brain about like game design and just making stuff kind of clear to the player and not be like awkwardly hidden in the world about how to progress. So yeah, I guess it just comes down to, you know, paying attention to if you get people who are complaining, that you're getting stuck. If not, I guess you're good. I don't know what, I'm just running around, kind of like trying to keep an eye out for treasure chests. These kind of slightly look chest shaped, and I know how much the chests blend into the environment, so I don't know. But we've got a lot of these, I guess. Oh, okay, so these were stairs, and then you kind of sneakily hid the actual ramps on the side, I guess. Now we're here. Is this the same way I was before? Is that different? Looks like I can actually go down there, like a hole. So yeah, I'm not sure if this was where I was jumping around before. This could be a completely, like I could be completely flipped around 180 degrees compared to then. I'm looking for those ramps on that one wall. I guess there's ramps over here, which, oh, this is actually where I came from. Interesting. All right. All right, doing this kind of hastily, but seems to be working out. Feels kind of fun, I guess. I guess we're going down there. We've got some light showing through here. It's kind of ominous. That looks cool. I think this is another transition. I don't know if there's a reason to go there. I'm gonna run around to look for chests, I guess. What is this? That's cool. It's kind of weird to just like suddenly realize like a different place you were before. It's almost like it's a different dimension that you're looking at because it's like right there, but it's far away. It's kind of a trippy concept. So I'm not sure if there's a reason to go here. I think is this, looks like a chest I opened right here. That must be the poop one. We got stairs here. Oh my gosh, where am I going? Because there was that big hole with the green color in it. It's kind of drawing you in, but then I was like, oh, I'm gonna go wander around some more, and now I'm going who knows where. What happened to the green hole? Oh, I think I'm going towards the poop. Am I going towards the poop? This is where the poop was. So I was actually just like a couple steps away from getting into that green hole if I took a different route, apparently. Where? Is that the green hole? Wait. I took a few too many turns here, so I don't know how to find my way back where I was now. I can't see enough of the ground to see where the green hole is. This is so weird. Alright, we got the staircase. I don't think it's here. Where's the green hole? There it is, right? Alright, it seems like it's been a long time since I've seen a checkpoint, which... Hey, what the heck? I can just go here? But what is in here? Oh! Color! It's a completely different place. Alright, does that mean that if I go find the green hole, it's going to be like a completely different thing? We have more of these branching paths, I guess? I forgot how I got here. Oh no, I think I was on the stairs and then I was on a different one of these levels. Green hole's over there, right? Oh, what about this? I think I found it? Wait. Yeah. Green stuff. Whoop. Alright, we fell in the green hole. Wait a minute. That thing's like... Wait a minute. The green hole was this? How did I fell here and then I immediately bumped into this. Okay, so this makes sense now, but this is not where I hope to end up. Oh my gosh. Alright, how... I feel like I went so far back instead of going forward. I thought this would be a way forward. This is just confusing. Oh my gosh, so I just have to like do what I did already? So it's kind of lame to just like go way back like that when you thought you were going forward. Where I'm going. Where do I go? Alright, found some ramps. Is this the poop place? Or is this where I just... I think you're supposed to go up here, and then... And what do I... Okay, if I go back down, I'm gonna go back to the green hole, but then there was some other place... Oh, there was stairs somewhere. Where are the stairs? Where's that big staircase? Alright, I'm going down here because I was here before. Staircase is over here. Okay. I guess if I get to the staircase, I can run up here, and then I have to orient it in a different fashion. I guess I have to get on the other underside of it or something. So maybe if I start with this, then... Oh, so you only need one... That's trippy. You don't need to do two transitions to get on the underside of the stairs. It only takes one. It's kind of counterintuitive. Alright, I think I'm supposed to go here. And then we're in the icy blue. Whoop. Alright, completely failed that jump. Just kind of slipped off there. So that was kind of lousy. But yeah. So about the checkpoints, I think you might want to have... consider more checkpoints. There hasn't been places to like quote unquote die the static things between like where I am and the last checkpoint, but on the other hand, if I want to quit the game and, excuse me, you know, go do something else for a bit, I don't want to have this feeling that I have to like keep playing the game for another 20 minutes or something until I can find the next checkpoint, so that I can actually be at a stopping point to, you know, stop the game. And then, you know, or the alternative is that I have to turn the game off and then like lose all my progress. I think that'd be a really good reason to, consider adding some more checkpoints. So it looks like some more little ramps here. Oh my gosh. Alright, very trippy. I guess we're going this way now. This is very cool. I like how different things look. Just structuring things differently from one area to the next, it makes everything feel new again. Guess I needed to make some jumps instead of what I did. Alright. Yeah, it does seem like I haven't really gotten very stuck at any point. I've kind of wandered around for a while in certain areas, but I haven't gotten too stuck, so that's pretty good. Oh, we got another color transition here. Sort of looks like I can almost jump, I guess, once I take this transition. Oh no, I can't jump up here either. Take the next transition, and wow, got 3 transitions. Your mom let you have 3 transitions? I guess I can go down there, but I think I can't jump back out. I don't know if that's backwards. Probably it's backwards. I guess we go up. Wow, this is a little bit trippy. Oh my gosh, it's tripped my eyes out. I don't know why this is so bumpy. Have all the stairs been bumpy like this? Well, I guess they are. So that's interesting. So I would, you know, I guess you have some kind of code that kind of bumps you up over things. Actually, it seems like I've noticed that with the platforming, that there's been moments where you could kind of, like with some of these jump. Whoa. Wait a minute. Is this like the end? Okay. Well, with some of these jumps where it's like just barely, you can just barely make it. It's like you kind of hit the corner of the ledge and then you kind of bump up onto it. I guess I kind of noticed that. But usually with with stairs, I recommend just make it, in terms of the collision, just make it a ramp. You can have the geometry be the shape, but the colliders doesn't have to be this bumpy thing. So you don't have to have this kind of funny interaction with the stairs where you're just gonna bump up them like that and it's sort of rough. You can just make that a ramp. It works exactly the same but better, you know. Much simpler. So that might be something to consider, just to, you know, replace the colliders with simpler ones. So what is going on here? That looks very cool. I like how this is just like a giant empty thing all of a sudden. Oh, it's the toilet! Okay, I bumped the toilet. Do I have to press E? Oh, colors. The colors, Duke. Alright, victory. Toilet acquired. Okay. Alright, so I wasn't sure that I was like actually going to make it to the end. Like I wasn't planning on that. I didn't know how long the game was or anything, but it's kind of nice that I managed to do that before I stopped the video. So that was cool. Alright, so not very long. I'm not sure about like... I don't feel like I got very many treasures here. I got 4 things. Seems a little sparse. I know that there was more stuff. I think there was a couple like right at the start that I didn't. Oops, just clicked on something on my taskbar instead of clicking the back button here because it's in windowed mode. I'm actually gonna try this again real quick. But yeah, I'm not sure if there were like other areas that there were certain cases where it felt like there was places I could have gone to, but I chose not to, and I'm you know, For all I know, it could have just been leading me back to where I was before, because there was a couple moments that were like that I noticed where I just, like the green hole as I called it. All right, that's definitely a chest. Oh, there's not another one here. All right, so you can just go here and then you just jump and that's silly. Okay. Soap. I see. Kind of funny. Yeah, this hidden little ramp thing here. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap this up. But this is really cool. I enjoyed it. It just feels cool, I guess, to move through this kind of environment once you've figured out the ins and outs of it. Um, but yeah, I'd say in terms of criticisms, I definitely think this beginning thing where it doesn't really properly tell you how this works could be worked out better. I almost feel like this chest kind of throws you off because it creates this idea that the game is going to like start telling you how to play. And then what it says has nothing to do with what you have to do immediately afterwards. So it's really kind of awkward. I think you should just kind of tell the player how this works. And then the idea that you kind of hit this other little ramp right here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe everyone figures this out, but I'm always kind of worried about the whatever percentage of players just doesn't notice this kind of thing. Like these little bits of environment that actually end up being gameplay critical. I'll just be a little bit cautious about that. But apart from that, I think just the platforming itself, because you do incorporate platforming in the game, making these jumps, I think that could be improved. It is kind of interesting if you have an area that it feels like you kind of, just the player's skill or something figured out a way to jump somewhere they weren't supposed to. That can kind of feel cool, but usually, in my opinion, that kind of stuff should be kind of reserved for like finding secrets and stuff like that, as opposed to critical progression kind of deals. So I think as some of these jumps you could just kind of, it's more of a level design kind of thing where you can make them feel a little bit more like the level is designed around that, like it's designed to make this jump, and not forcing the player to like go to the absolute edge of the, you have to kind of like point the camera down and then try to get to the absolute edge of the platform before you press the space bar in order to like make the full distance and that kind of thing. Like you can kind of design so you don't have to do that kind of stuff and make some of these platforms a little easier to land on. And in my opinion, the jumping, I mean, it's kind of quick, but like I said, it's not very natural feeling. It's a little bit high on the gravity, so it would feel a little bit better, I think, if you made that a little bit floatier. And I understand that kind of forces you to reconsider the way that the levels or the environment has been designed if you start tweaking the jump, because you might be able to make jumps that you weren't supposed to and that kind of stuff. But it is a little bit off feeling, although I will say that one part where there were like big cube things where I was kind of doing the diagonal jumps across the beams, the 90-degree beams. I don't know if, I hope that's a adequate description. It felt pretty cool to make those little jumps there and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. At some point it starts to feel more natural in terms of the quickness of the jumping, but yeah, maybe even I would say I'd prefer that, like, even if you didn't want to tweak the jump at all, if you just made the environment kind of work with it a little bit better, I would be happier with that than if, for example, you made the jump feel better but the environment still felt kind of funky. I don't know. Like, that's just my opinion, but yeah, maybe you could get away with this kind of jumping if it's something that you can kind of get used to, but some of those jumps are a little bit wonky feeling. So yeah, hopefully that was reasonable feedback. What exactly is this, by the way? Is this just to throw you off? This is very trippy. I believe you go through there, but I don't know why. Oh, I can actually kind of like look down here. So it's so weird. I feel like I should like crouch and walk through that, but yeah, I did mention the crouching. That's another thing. I guess you want to prevent the player from doing some weird stuff with that, but for the most part, I think it would be better if you just kind of managed to design the levels around the players being able to crouch, because I think that feels good. But yeah, this is fun, and I hope you've found this video useful. I'm a little confused where I am at the moment here. Oh my gosh. Are you supposed to be able to get here? This is such a weird little thing. Why is this? What even is this? I don't know. Maybe this is like you're only meant. Maybe it's only a one-way street sort of deal. In any case, yeah. So let's wrap this up. But I enjoyed this. I don't know if you had any intention to like expand upon it more, but I think it would be worthwhile because I think it's enjoyable. So let me know if you have any more questions, and I'll see you in the next video.